date stamped in history, 1776, yet rarely understood in its true context. Not because it marked the birth of a nation or the rise of an empire, but because on a silent evening in Germany, a handful of men dared to challenge two forces that, for centuries, ruled unquestioned: religion and the state. It was not rebellion with steel, it was rebellion with thought. At the heart of it stood a professor named Adam Weishaupt, a man who believed that humanity had surrendered its mind to fear, tradition, and blind obedience. He was not chasing chaos. He was searching for intellectual liberation. In the depths of the University of Ingolstadt, beyond deserted corridors and cold stone walls, a room existed, dark, narrow, and untouched by the outside world. It was there, on the first night of May, that Weishaupt gathered a small circle of trusted minds. No torches, no trumpets, no dramatic declarations. Just 5 individuals, heads lowered in solemn commitment, their silence louder than any revolution ever announced. They sought answers to forbidden questions. How did religion knit itself into the soul of humanity so deeply that people followed without questioning? Why did governments treat obedience as duty and silence as loyalty? Who had granted these two powers eternal control? At that time, Christianity was not just a faith. It was the world's moral architecture, controlling thought, law, education, and destiny. To challenge it was to challenge an empire without throne or army, yet capable of command over millions. Professors, scholars, and thinkers watched as ordinary people lived inside rules not made by them, yet forced upon them. Weishaupt believed a society could exist where knowledge ruled, not superstition, not inherited authority, not divine proclamations interpreted by those hungry for power. That night, after long hours and whispered words, Weishaupt adopted a name that symbolized rebellion against empire: Brother Spartacus. Not just a title, but a declaration. Spartacus, the enslaved gladiator who once led a revolt against Rome, had fought to free bodies. Weishaupt sought to free minds. In that moment, a secret order rose with a purpose both ambitious and terrifying: to dismantle the centuries-old grip of church and monarchy, not with swords, but with intellect, reasoning, and quiet infiltration. "We begin a revolution," he whispered, his voice trembling, not with fear, but conviction. Not of violence, but of light. The men placed their hands over one another's, their oath sealed not by scripture or crown, but by mutual vision. From that table, beneath dim candlelight, the name of their society emerged: Illuminati, the keepers of light, the challengers of enforced darkness. They believed enlightenment was not a privilege, but a birthright. Their weapon was not rebellion in the streets, but transformation from within. They infiltrated institutions, influenced minds, and selected recruits carefully. Only the sharpest intellects, the most disciplined thinkers, and the morally unwavering were permitted. No ordinary worker, no careless talker, no blind loyalist. Candidates were examined in political thought, philosophy, logic, and coded communication. One misjudgment could collapse the entire foundation. This was no noisy uprising. It was quiet, systematic, and effective. Within a few years, 5 members became dozens. Dozens swelled into hundreds, then hundreds into nearly 2,000. Judges, scholars, aristocrats, military thinkers, and university elites joined. They saw not rebellion, but reformation. They dreamed of a world where minds were not chained by scripture interpreted for control, nor by governments created to rule rather than serve. Each member knew only one other member. No faces beyond the circle. No names beyond necessity. This structure protected the order so deeply that outsiders could never truly map its existence. Their secrecy became their shield and their power. When they later merged quietly with the Freemasons, a society already established across Europe, their network became unstoppable. But every secret society meets its test. Illuminati made one fatal choice. In order to dismantle the ruling powers, they began recruiting inside the church and government. Priests who doubted doctrine, officials who despised monarchy, individuals who appeared loyal externally but internally shared the dream of liberation. Such minds were invaluable, but also dangerous, for within them lived access to corridors the group had never imagined entering, yet also the risk of exposure. Whispers started circulating. A hidden order was reshaping thought. A coded system of communication was traveling between cities. Strange meetings, sealed documents, and unusual academic gatherings began catching attention. Rumors turned to suspicion. Suspicion ignited investigation. By 1784, the Bavarian state declared the order dangerous. By 1785, the arrests began. Houses were raided, letters seized, names revealed, members vanished. What started as enlightenment dwindled into persecution. Adam Weishaupt, Brother Spartacus, escaped, carrying only one thing: the idea that knowledge could break the world's most ancient chains. The government claimed to have executed the Illuminati. Records state the order ended there, but curiosity did not. From that moment forward, fact blurred with myth. The more the world tried to bury the Illuminati, the louder its legend resurfaced. Not as a historical society, but as a whispered puppet master controlling everything: banking, elections, music, war, media, even tragedy. The all-seeing eye, printed on the American dollar centuries later, became the world's favorite symbol of suspicion. Despite its origins having no documented link to the Illuminati, conspiracy replaced evidence. Modern culture turned the name Illuminati into a shadow, a convenient explanation for fear and complexity. Leaders, billionaires, celebrities, innovators, anyone who rose too quickly or shone too brightly, was stamped with the label. After all, it is easier to blame an invisible enemy than to accept that influence can come from intellect, vision, or divine favor. In religious conversations, the Illuminati name intertwined with prophecies and stories of deception. Some claimed it to be the machinery of the final false system, though no scripture mentions the order directly. Social media only fanned the fire. In every global event, someone sees the hidden hand. Perhaps that is the true legacy of the Illuminati, not a proven conspiracy, but a psychological footprint. A reminder that humanity fears what it cannot measure, name, or influence. Perhaps this story endured not because 5 men once gathered in a candlelit room, but because humanity never stopped believing that someone, somewhere, controls everything. Maybe the order died in 1785, burned and folded into dust by a government terrified of thought more than weapons. Or maybe it survived, not in meeting halls or coded letters, but in powerful minds who still believe enlightenment is worth protecting. No one can answer with certainty. History closes its doors. Myth breaks them open. Between both lies a mystery that refuses to sleep. All that remains clear is this: a revolution of intellect, born in silence, still echoes in suspicion. The world today continues to chase ghosts from a room long locked, a candle long extinguished, and an oath whispered not to control humanity, but to free it. May clarity guide minds, and may knowledge never be feared.